go through the same A, B, C, D, E.
Okay, well, it did seem to have a lot of interesting material covered. So,
I think we're still waiting for Mike.
and Ahmed, is he coming?
I believe so.
Okay, well, it's early.
Hopefully they'll join momentarily here.
Laverne, did you get all the application material?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris fixed me up with all the things I need. Yeah.
Okay.
And the pictures and the copy of the bylaw, which I don't know, it's kind of confusing. I thought I read the thing about 12 times.
Well, we passed it in May of 2023.
And this is the first case that we've actually had, right?
This is the this is the first detached.
Oh, okay.
The planning board's had a couple of attached.
Okay, all right.
So
That
which is good. This is exactly the type of activity we wanted, which is why we did the bylaw.
Right, exactly.
So, you know, families, relatives, friends, whatever.
Mother-in-law.
Mothers-in-law, exactly.
Mother-in-law.
Yeah, we had a great 3-generation attached ADU Monday night. It was wonderful.
So are they going to have to come to the Board of Appeals also, or is it just the detached ones?
Just the detached, and that's only because there was a tiff between Alan and Courtney.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Well,
So
Courtney,
I would have no problem in supporting a DBA request to say, why are we doing this? A planning board that does 20 to 30 site plan reviews every year can do this.
yeah,
Something to talk about when you get you're fully complemented.
right.
Yep.
We don't know when that's going to be, but the selectmen are usually pretty good about coming up with very, very good candidates. So I'm sure there's someone in the pipeline.
It gets harder and harder. Folks get busier and busier.
It does get hard.
Sorry to interrupt. Does anybody have a way to reach out to Mike or Nadir just to see what their status is? I don't have phone numbers, but they did receive all the Zoom links. So
Are you talking about Mark Conrad? He's the applicant.
No.
oh no, I'm
No, we're
talking
talking
the
about
other
planning
two
board member.
members.
Oh,
Mike
okay.
Dunn-
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Isn't Mike an associate? Can he, I mean, when you've only got 2 out of 3, doesn't Nadir have to be here for a quorum?
One of the two have to be here, yeah.
Well,
Nadir
oh,
has to be here because I'm an associate member also.
right.
I don't have a number on Nadir.
Neither do I. I should, but I don't.
Hang on 1 second.
Let me see if I have any emails with Nadir that maybe have his
Yeah, I can look too.
amazing. Nope.
He doesn't sign with his phone.
Well, it's 4 past. I don't know. We'll give him a few more minutes.
Can somebody send him an email?
Yeah, I'll send him an email.
Mike. 1 second.
I could do it a really roundabout way and see if I can find his work phone number on his work website and see if that goes to his cell. I don't know if we're
no.
that desperate.
I think we might be. I mean, it's 5 past, so.
Did he know that he had to be here to make a quorum for a meeting?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him and confirmed everything, so should know.
I found a phone number for Mike, but it's probably doesn't have it anymore. Home phone.
Well, it doesn't matter. Mike doesn't count for a quorum.
Mike, yeah,
Oh,
Mike is an associate member like myself.
So we don't care if he comes or not?
Doesn't, right. Oh, other than for educational purposes.
Oh. Hmm. What's Ahmed's last name? Right.
Nadir,
Nadir, of course. I was just looking to see if he's in the phone book. Some people are still in the phone book. Did you know that? I'm in it. Some old people.
I still have the same landline when I moved to Dover in 1978, and every so often somebody from like 20 or 30 years ago calls, so I keep it.
No, he's not in the book.
You might want to get everybody's contact information and share it with the board.
Yeah, absolutely. This has happened to us before, mostly when they were looking for Mike. Yeah,
What easy to put together a list with phone numbers and emails.
I bet Felicia has it. But she's probably not there.
Well, you know what? Let me call Felicia.
Oh, Felicia, she knows everything.
I have it. Oh,
Well, she's not home, so I will try her cell. Let me try her cell. Nope. Nope. Ah,
I don't know what to say. Does town council have any thoughts about this?
I mean, there's not much that we can do if there isn't a quorum.
Okay, I didn't know if we could,
nope.
only 2 of us, so that's not good at all. All right.
Yeah. I wish we could. I wish I could wave a magic wand and make it happen, but
all right. So I found Nadir's cell phone. I just gave him a call, left a message. I'm going to shoot him a text message right now.
Okay.
Um,
And Felicia did not answer either her home phone or her cell. Well, this is unfortunate. I'm sure the Reismans want to get going on the construction.
Hmm. I apologize.
Yeah,
We
certainly.
do, believe
Apologize.
me, we do. It's been unbelievable, the amount of delay. We thought maybe it would be done by the time our daughter gets here this summer. We have two daughters coming with grandchildren, and one of them's with two grandchildren is staying for a month.
Oh, boy.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, boy. That's wonderful, but
It is wonderful, but exactly.
so. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but when these meetings are like this on Zoom, I mean, I could do it tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday or Tuesday. You know,
Well,
Doesn't the hearing have to be posted for 2 weeks or something?
oh, you have
Yes.
to start all
Yeah.
over with the posting.
I know, it's so frustrating. I can't begin to tell you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's it. It is very frustrating. Wow, I didn't realize that. Hmm.
How old are the children, the grandchildren coming?
One is 3, she just turned 3 in April, and the other one will be 1 at the
Oh,
end of
boy.
July. And then
You're
we have another one that was born in November, so she's less than a year, 3 months younger than the other one.
You're gonna have
They're
a very,
all coming.
how wonderful.
very busy household for a bit, huh?
Yeah.
I have a bunch of baby stuff if you need to borrow anything.
Oh, really? Like what? What do you have?
I have a baby bathtub
Oh, okay, maybe
and I have
I'll get in
a
touch with you.
one of those what do they call them? The
Pack and play type thing, or
well, I think the pack and play is down here on the Cape, but I could always bring it back if I have it. And one of those high chairs, the trochees, I think they're called, trochee.
oh, okay. Well, I actually might want to take you up on some of those things.
Sounds like you need a babysitter too.
Well, he is
I've got
looking
bed
for
rails for the six.
babysitters.
I've got bed
He
rails for the
is.
3-year-old if he or she needs bed rails.
Bed rails. I think
Yes.
we bought a mattress for the floor,
Ah, okay.
and
Well,
and
that
then
solves that problem.
the travel for the other one. Oh,
I have a 3, 6, 8, and 10, and the 8 and 10-year-olds are in Dover, and the 3 and 6-year-olds are in Connecticut. So
Hmm.
we're
So
slowly
fun.
getting rid of the baby stuff. Oh, I love babies. No more. Well,
If nobody has anything to do, we could sit for another 10 minutes. Maybe he'll call, you know. We can,
can anybody find his home number? What
I think
what
Chris,
street does he live on? You just go on white pages. Does anybody know where he lives?
well, how many Nadira meds are in Dover?
Good question.
Oh, is he an otolaryngologist?
How
Let's
what?
see.
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer, so that's not Dr. Amir. Okay, Nadir Ahmed Dover. Dover, Massachusetts, LinkedIn. Attorney at Harvard.
one thing that my husband just remembered is that this has to be done by June something or other, June 8th by law. So,
What law?
Yes, no, you're correct. It's 65 days after you filed the application. Yeah, which would be June 6th, I believe.
so, well, how does that wash with the 2-week hearing notice?
Right, because June 6th is exactly 2 weeks from today. So if you would agree to an extension, we could extend it. If you'd not agree to an extension, I'm not 100% certain. I have to just review the statute. It could be that it is an automatic approval of an automatic grant of the special permit. I'm just reviewing the statute now. So
I know with the planning board, if we don't do it within our time frame, then it's automatically approved. So
yeah,
that
usually
that could solve the problem.
That would be
That could
fine.
definitely solve it. That's-
so yeah, so if that means
solve
that you
the
would get an
problem.
approval, then
That
Yep.
would solve the problem.
Finding a few things about Nadir. He's 45. That's interesting.
you can
I'm
find
ready
out
to-
anything about anyone on the internet.
Uh,
Yeah, because I know that if the board doesn't take action within 90 days of hearing the permit, that is an automatic grant of the permit. But the statute doesn't specifically speak to whether the permit isn't acted on within the 65 days. So I'm just trying to determine that.
Are you looking at Mass General Law or the Dover bylaws?
The general laws. Mhm.
I'll check the,
All right, thank you for the research. I just heard back from Nadir. He's on his way. So
Amazing.
incredible. Sorry for the
Wow.
delay, everybody. I know this has been a delay on top of other delays. So to the applicants, I mean, we can't thank you enough for your patience. So we'll hopefully Nadir will jump on and we'll get going.
super.
Laverne, I'm just typing a note to Felicia to ask her to collect all of our contact information and
Yes,
to send it out to all of us. And yeah,
yes.
every-
We've looked for Mike before. We think Mike's in incognito someplace.
yeah,
He's,
okay.
we'll get his private cell phone. Thank
Well-
you. That's a great idea.
There's Nadir.
I am so sorry.
Made it. Yay.
Okay, Laverne, your show.
Okay, so my name is Laverne Lovell. I'm the acting chair of the Board of Appeals in the retirement of Alan Fryer. And tonight's case is, I'll read the notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Appeals of the Town of Dover will hold a public hearing on Thursday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. through remote participation on the application of Mark Conrad and Company for 3 Claybrook Road, Dover, Mass, requesting a special permit to construct an accessory dwelling unit on the upper floor of an existing building at 3 Claybrook Road, Dover, Mass. Anybody interested or wishing to be heard should follow the instructions found in the agenda posted online, blah, blah, blah. So I think do we have Mr. Conrad here tonight?
You
Or
might
ju-
want to just take a roll call vote of your members first, since it's on Zoom.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, roll call vote. We've got
Nancy Green.
Nancy Green, yes. And Ahmed, yes.
Ahmed, yep.
And we didn't hear from Mike and just me, okay. And Laverne. Okay, and so we were just discussing the fact that the planning board has already gone through this case extensively. But I just have one question for you, Carol. Twice on this application was mentioned a report from the Board of Health, but I didn't see that. Is that someplace that I missed? The
Well,
bottom of the,
I don't know what was forwarded to you.
oh, okay. A
Okay,
planning board full
when
site-
when we do site plan review for ADUs, we always get an approval from the Board of Health first, because you're
that's what-
adding bedrooms. So if the Board of Health isn't going to approve the additional bedrooms because of their septic system, then there's no point in spending any more time on the application.
Okay, that was the
So
answer to the.
we did receive approval from the Board of Health.
Okay, perfect. So I read through all of this stuff. I read the accessory dwelling unit amendment 4 or 5 times, and I don't see any problem with it, but it's not up to me. Does anybody else have anything to say?
And you may wish to have the applicant present any information that they have
Yes,
first.
I don't see the applicant, okay.
Or
Mark doesn't seem to be here. He was the one that sent me the link to the meeting, so I know he's aware of it. But I don't know where he is, and he hasn't responded to any of my texts, in the last 20 minutes.
How many of
Okay. So I don't really see that too much of a problem. We have all the information here. We've got the plans, the site review. I don't know, I've looked over all of these things. And
Laverne, do we have the plans? I don't know if I got a copy of the plans. Maybe I didn't pick them up, or maybe I didn't.
it came, Chris Costello gave me a few things, and this came with that, and it's just a picture of the barn and how the structure is going to go on top of it.
Did anybody ask the planning board for a zip file that has every single document digital?
I did not do that. I'm sorry. I was just relying on the information I had got, Carol. I didn't
Yeah,
realize.
so, no,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that you can share our Google Drive, so.
That's okay. I saw.
Chris, do you have access to the planning board's Google Drive?
I do not, but the information that was distributed was the original application to the ZBA. So
Okay.
any supplemental documents, whether it's planning board review, we obviously got the planning board report, but any other additional documents I'm not aware of.
So perhaps it will help just to say that the process that the planning board uses is first we make sure that the Board of Health gives its okay because of the bedroom and the septic issue. Then we work directly with the building inspector, either Walter or Joe, to ensure that the square footage of the ADU is 900 square feet or less, which is required by both the Dover bylaw and the state Mass General Law. And once the building inspector has verified the square footage and takes a look at the design based upon the state building code, which has issues about egress and so forth, then it comes to the planning board with both the approval of the building inspector and the Board of Health already done. So we look at things like, and so in addition to that work that's already been done, we look at things like, parking and ambiance and design and shielding and lighting and those types of things. And I think that's what you'll see in our report, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was very extensive.
Yes.
I've read it 3 or 4 times, and I thought it was very extensive and very well done. So I don't think that the Board of Appeals has to do much else with it.
Just on that note, because the way that the bylaw is written, the Board of Appeals is the special permit granting authority. And so because you are approving a special permit, the legal requirements are somewhere between a bit and substantially more strict in terms of the findings that you need to make. So in order to grant a special permit, you do have to make the findings under each of the criteria. Fortunately, the planning board also uses the same criteria to evaluate ADUs. So they do have findings on each of those criteria in their site plan review. And so you can certainly take that into consideration, but the board does need to make findings about each of the elements of the ADU in order to grant the special permit. Because the special permit has a slightly higher standard of review than a site plan review would. So those are the elements listed in the bylaw and also listed in the site plan review. I believe there's 10, maybe. It's if you have the bylaw in front of you, it's the maximum floor area, occupancy, all of those.
9. There are 9 per standard site plan review, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think also 9.
And then 8 for in addition for the the special permit. Is it appropriate for the ZBA just to accept the site plan review done by the planning board?
The planning board, excuse me, the Board of Appeals can accept those findings. They will just need to, in the actual decision, and I can help with this, but in the actual written decision, make sure to hit on each of those findings. But because the planning board does make the same findings, that should be fine because they're literally identical.
Please feel free to plagiarize,
Yeah.
whatever helps the Reismans get going here.
Yes. And so if the Board of Appeals feels comfortable with the planning board's presumably extensive review and wants to adopt the planning board's findings and the planning board's suggested conditions, that is fine.
Does anybody want to make a motion to that point?
Can I just ask one question? Just
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
more of a technicality. The ADU is supposed to be under 900 square feet, which it is, or less than 50% of the total square footage. Just to clarify, the main property is more than 2,000 square feet.
Yes, otherwise the planning board would not have approved it.
Yes.
I was wondering the same thing because in the planning board's decision, it says that it's under 900 square feet, but just doesn't confirm the size of the primary dwelling. Right.
I'm not sure we have any primary residences in Dover that are 1,800 square feet.
Yeah. That's what I figured was the reason behind that. But
We're approving pool cabanas that are bigger than that.
Yes, for sure. So does someone want to make a motion to accept the full site plan review that has been done by the planning board?
So moved.
Second, anybody?
Well, you
Nancy?
have to second it.
I can
Oh, I have to
second-
second.
Yeah, because I can't, yes.
Okay, so all of us are in favor of accepting this plan and allowing the Reismans to build an ADU on their barn.
And you're accepting the plans as submitted by the
As-
applicant.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has seen these but me, but I read them 4 times. I looked at I've been here since 5:30 reading over all this stuff, and I thought it was 100% good, so. Have you read this, Kristen?
Yes.
Oh, you have? Okay, good.
Yep. I read the application and the planning board's excellently worded decision as well. So
Well, Carol Lisbon's been doing these things for a while.
yeah.
Okay, so.
Thank you,
uh,
Laverne.
So you can
So
take
you-
a vote, just for so it's clear on the record, do you want to take a vote?
Okay, all those in favor of allowing this full site plan review for the Reisman's application? Say aye, say your
Nancy-
name,
Nancy Green, aye.
okay,
Nadir Ahmed, aye.
okay, and Laverne Lovell, aye.
Great.
Thank you for coming, Ahmed, that was really good. Appreciate it.
Reismans, I hope you enjoy those grandchildren, and we're sorry about the delay.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yeah.
She's muted. Robin,
You're
Robin,
mute.
Oh, there you go.
We will enjoy them and we look forward to have, my daughter has been saying for years, you should build up out the loft in the barn for an apartment. And little did we know that we wouldn't even be able to do it until now. We never said, no, that'd be way too expensive. We would never looked into it, but we didn't know we couldn't do it. But now we really need it.
for sure.
Well, congratulations.
And now you can.
Well, hopefully Mark will get started tomorrow.
Yes, that
Yeah,
would be
and
great.
just so you know, Ms. Reisman, the board has, I believe it's 90 days to enter the special permit decision. And then there's a 20-day appeal period. And if no one appeals it within those 20 days, then you'll be all set and the building commissioner can issue you the special permit.
It's another
about you?
90 days plus 20 days.
But the board could send its decision much sooner than 90 days. It just has up to 90 days.
So we do our decisions the next day. Is there any reason the decision can't be done tomorrow?
Legally, no.
And who's
It's-
going to do that decision? I can't believe I'm asking this. Who's going to do the decision?
I think Kristen is.
Yes, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to work on that.
We will
Okay.
get working on the decision as soon as possible.
And then,
Okay.
let me be clear, does the Reismans have to wait 20 days?
Yes, the building permit cannot be issued for 20 days in case there are any appeals.
After the decision,
Correct.
okay.
So to everybody involved, that's for Nadir, I explained that the reason that the ZBA is even involved in a detached ADU is because there was a little bit of a tiff between Alan Fryer and Courtney Starling, our town planner back in 2021, 2022. So in order to sort of appease the situation, we said, fine, Alan, if you want to approve the ZBA detached ADUs, fine. It's become apparent that with special permits having to be posted for 2 weeks, which a regular permit does, regular site plan review does not, and then the 90-day wait, I mean, then in the 90 days to do it, and then the 20-day wait and everything else, I urge the ZBA at some point before next year's town meeting, and we'll put it on our list as well, to please consider rescinding that and having the detached ADU handled the same way as attached ADUs, which is just through site plan review by the planning board. I think these are hoops that I don't think citizens of Dover need to go through.
And is there a separate thing, sort of, I guess, legislation or regulation that we could independently
No,
rescind? Or is it?
because it's in the bylaw. It's the
Ah.
bylaw
Probably
that was
town
approved
meeting,
by,
an
the
amendment to
bylaw
the
that was
town-
presented by the planning board to the town meeting in April 2023.
Got it.
Okay, so we would work with you to do an amendment to the bylaw for the May 2025 town meeting. Okay,
Wow.
and clear this up.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
All right, well, thank you for your volunteer efforts. I know that none of you are getting paid money to do this.
No,
so
you.
Chris, does Kristen need anything else from us?
Do we feel comfortable with where we are?
I do. And Kristen's gonna write the.
No, I don't think so. And I can touch base with Chris as well.
Yeah,
after
we'll
this.
regroup tomorrow and figure out what we need to do. The board does have one other item on the agenda, consideration and approval of minutes. If everyone had a chance to review minutes, you could take that up. But other than that, something
Okay,
else.
with that, I'm going to say good night. Good
Yep.
night, everybody. Have a nice weekend.
Good night, Carol.
Thanks for
Thank you the
joining,
help.
Carol. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it.
I did read those minutes that you gave me, Chris. Yes, there were a lot of, that's just from one meeting though, that you gave me the meetings from January 3rd minutes.
Just one meeting. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I read them, I would approve them, but I don't know, somebody else has to read them also.
They were provided, and Nadir and Nancy, if you had a chance to review them, I don't know, but feel free to discuss.
Well, it's a very 10-15 pages about the last meeting we had on the 4 units, 40B. Now, did you see any of that? I mean, I didn't, I hadn't seen it till Chris gave it to me yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if I had gotten it either, Chris.
Hmm.
And maybe, I don't think it came over, because I know in the past, Alan always never sent out the minutes. He just approved the minutes on his own.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
it was
did.
never, there was never a, yeah, we didn't go through this process.
All righty.
But I
Well,
see
I guess
you,
we'll just skip over that.
So
I
I'm
understood
approved.
that was in part because of the recording and the way in which Zooms are able to capture
Yeah.
the sort of, kind of engagements directly.
You should see this. There's 10 pages. Felicia types them all. From listening to the recording, she types them all. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I think that if you look at if you watch the meetings on the YouTube, thrilling television, it actually does have the transcript. So I think she largely, like you were saying, Nadir, she can copy the transcript, which is great because then it ensures that the minutes are not somebody's recollection of what happened, but like a play-by-play of what happened. So
This is
But-
the actual.
but recognizing that that matter is I understand being likely contested or already contested, should we go through this in more detail and confirm for completeness' sake, or is it really better to kind of maintain what we've done with the others, because that's kind of been our established practice there?
that's a great question because the matter is in front of the Housing Appeals Committee right now. I do not necessarily get the impression that the in-depth minutes of every meeting are going to necessarily matter, but it's also not a terrible idea to review them. How many, Chris, do you know, or do any of you know how many meetings this board has had since the meeting that you're reviewing the minutes for?
I don't know off the top of my head.
One that we did the vote,
One.
right?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the vote for to have Laverne the chair.
Oh, that's the only meeting you've had since?
Yes.
No, there's one
Oh.
meeting after this, because this, the meeting
That's
after
right.
this is when we voted it down. You
And
know.
then-
Sorry.
Permit was, I think, March 25th.
So generally, a timely manner for approving minutes is either within 30 days or within the next 3 meetings. So if this is only the second meeting since then I'd see no issue with postponing till the next meeting, especially if you want time to review for the reasons that Nadir already said. So it's up to you, but
So Nadir, do you have a copy of those minutes?
Yeah, they were attached to the message from Chris at 6 days ago, May 17th. There were 5 attachments. I missed it because I think my inbox sort of showed me just the 3 initially, and I apologize for scrolling further. But it's titled Draft Minutes 1-3-24.
I'll reload them. Chris, if I can't find them, I'll just send you a note back.
sorry, was that for me, Nancy? You cut out for a
No,
second.
I'm sorry. It's back to Chris. If I can't find them in my inbox, I'll go back and I'll just tag Chris and ask him to resend them to me.
Yeah, I can resend them out. No
That'd
problem.
be great. Thank you.
So we won't approve the minutes tonight. We'll wait till everybody's had a chance to look at them. Because we
Yeah,
don't
that,
have,
that seems prudent at this point, especially because
but we don't have another meeting planned. Hopefully, nobody else will want us for a while. So we'll just hold this until the next meeting, whatever it is.
Yeah, or if need be, you could schedule a meeting, like a 5-minute meeting to approve the minutes if you needed to.
If the 90 days by or whatever.
Is it possible to just do it via email that we review and sort of acknowledge that they reflect our recollection of the meeting?
I've not seen it done that way, so I'm not 100. I can't give you a totally clear answer on it. But I could figure it out, but I just don't know off the top of my head.
No.
Well,
Well, why don't we do this, Christine? Why don't you look to see if we can approve them via email? If not, then maybe Laverne, we can pull a 5-minute meeting off in the next couple of weeks. If there's nothing else that comes in front of us, which
Yeah.
we'll have. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great,
Yeah.
Nancy.
Okay.
good idea.
Does that have to
Well,
be properly noticed, or is that something that we can do? Because there's like notice requirements for meetings, so would we need
Right.
to?
It would have to, if you do it in a meeting, it would have to be noticed.
Sure.
Which is part of why I'm hesitant to do it via email, because I'm just
Yeah.
not sure how that jives with the notice requirements.
Should we
but-
take 10 minutes and try to read it right now? And
Yeah, that's also definitely an option. Although it is lengthy, as Lauren
Very
said.
lengthy and very detailed. Yeah. About every, when we took the site walk, when we were all walking in water up to our ankles. I don't know what to say.
I will say my understanding is that, as we've said, Felicia does take the
these
take
all,
the transcript of
Copious
it.
notes, yes.
So there's like very little, I would say very little reason to think that they wouldn't be an accurate reflection. But
It
And
takes-
historically, she takes copious notes, and then Alan has always reviewed those notes. On top of her taking, extensive notes. So I feel comfortable with what's in those notes and those minutes.
I know Felicia does take very, very comprehensive minutes. So
I feel as the acting chair that I would approve the minutes, because I read them today and they seem very accurate to me, but I'm not Alan.
so Laverne, if you want to ask to entertain a motion to that effect to approve the minutes, you certainly can do that.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I make a motion that we approve the minutes that Felicia has tediously typed from these transcripts that we all spoke on. And if you want to read them on your own, very
I
interesting. Seconded, okay.
I second the motion.
Nancy Green approves.
All of, say aye. I think it just
Aye.
clears it.
Nadir
From
Ahmed
now
says-
on, we can go forth with a different plan. you know, when you get a new chair, they'll have different ideas of how to do it, but we can't let this linger.
That makes sense.
It is
Yeah, good idea.
interesting. If you get the copy of it, it really is extremely interesting reading.
Or you can watch it on 2x speed on YouTube and you can get
Yeah.
the whole gist.
I think sitting through the meeting was interesting enough. I don't mean.
That's right.
Well, and you know, I know it may take a minute to get a chair, so I'm happy to help out with whatever the board needs in the meantime. So
Thank you.
no problem.
Thank you all.
Have a great Memorial Day weekend.
We need to
Okay.
close.
You
Motion to
too.
close?
Yep. Liver,
Yeah.
do you want to entertain a motion to?
I make a motion that we close the meeting. All in favor?
Second.
Second. Nancy Green. Bruce, let's go.
I'll make an effort.
Nadir
to-
Ahmed says aye.
Yeah, see ya.
I think
All
I
right,
should make
everybody.
an effort to get in touch with Mike Donovan. If
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah.
if you can come up with his phone number, Chris.
Well,
I'll reach out to him.
I asked Felicia to get a list of all of our numbers, private emails, numbers, so this does it, so we can, find each other when needed.
And I apologize again for being late.
Well, at least you
That's
made
okay.
it.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
for making it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know I actually think Felicia has that list, so I think it's just a matter of distributing that amongst the board, which I'd be happy to facilitate too. So I'll take care of that. Just to take something off Felicia's plate. She's got a lot. But thank you to the board. Thank you to Kristen for the help. Really appreciate it.
No
All
problem.
right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you for your help, Chris.
Yep.
Thank you for your address.
Bye.
Good
All
night.
right. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.